All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule and Darren McCarty, and Big Mike Gentry and Spencer Raxter, and all of you. And dominoes are starting to fall within the NFL trade deadline. Spencer Raxter said Ian Rappaport just reporting that the Bears and the Commanders have made a trade, and is that the full details to it as of right now?
Yeah, so far all that's come out is just a 2024 second-round pick. So Adam Schefter confirmed.
The Adam Schefter confirmed it. So there it is. Montez Sweat going to the Bears, a 2024 second-round pick. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. DNCENT, I'm sorry, Neil. I literally can't take you serious right now. I respect and value your opinion, but today I just can't. Okay, are you trading Sam Laporta? You trading Sam Laporta for Montez Sweat? Because that was a second round pick.
And we brought up there has to be a sign and trade here, right?
Because the Bears aren't doing this for a rental.
The Bears are in no position to get a rental player. They're not even a playoff team.
And guys, here's the other thing too. Let's wait and see before everyone's in BMG. This is to you. And you're my friend, and I respect you. You know I have a lot of respect for you, and I value your opinion.
Thank you, Neil.
But before you say just a second, it's not just a second. There obviously is a trade. With this trade, there's a contract extension in place. Because the Bears aren't doing this to, quote, make a run this year. So let me see the financials. What do you think they're paying him?
I don't know.
25?
Yeah, probably
30?
20 plus.
Yeah,
I don't know if we'll get 25, but 20-something.
It has to be 20.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, think about that as well.
Yeah, it just sucks to see him go into in the division, obviously, but second round pick.
Sam Laporta, Brian Branch.
Montez Sweat.
I mean, yeah, he's on caliber with those players.
Yeah, so it's not like you're getting a bad player or anything.
Right, but how much are you paying Sam Laporta and Brian Branch?
But you need like a player like that anyways. So,
but who does it take away from? So great.
No,
you got 22 million for this guy. Once
the contract settles, I'll have a more of an
nuanced
opinion. Yeah,
but that's not the business we're in right now. Right now,
we gotta shoot it out.
No, you piss off, Mike Gentry. You're stupid. You're stupid over there. Let me see here. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. DNCENT, am I trading Sam Laporta for a third-year professional Laporta? Yes. See, I am not, my friend. That's where we're different. We have a difference. We have a difference of philosophy.
So
and look, you're a valued member, DNCENT. I value your opinion as well, but we're built different.
Tell them why. Because it's money. It's rookie contract. It's the fact that you can't trade for them because then you have to pay the guy. Hawkinson, Minnesota, why you got rid of him, stuff like that. You got to explain that the dollars got to make sense, even more so than moving it around. Yeah, the Bears, they got all these draft picks that somebody brought up last year. They sent a second for Chase Claypool and stuff. This is what they do. That's not what we do. This isn't part of the big plan by Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and the whole organization.
Okay, guys, all right. Let's just put it out there right now then. If we're going to do this, then let's do this. For the DNCENTs and all the people right now in the chat thread. How has this thing been built? How were they 1-6 12 months ago, and now they're a Super Bowl threat? How? How was it built? Somebody answer.
All those free agent signings and all the millions of dollars that they... Oh, that's not...
No. Oh. It was built exclusively through the draft. And for the last time, the most valuable weapon, the most dangerous weapon this franchise has is Brad Holmes with an envelope in his hand, handing it to the commissioner. That's the most dangerous thing that this organization has, guys. He's shown it to you. He's told you what's going to happen here. I know your fantasy teams are all lined up and everything, and you need a quarterback for your fantasy team, so you're just going to go make a trade. This isn't how this organization works, everybody. This is Brad Holmes through the draft in free agency. What'd he do? D-Mac, you've been banging this drum all the time. What'd he do? He signed his guys, and guess what?
He went,
11 different players
are better than what is available out there. So here's the thing. Does that conversation still not go coming up to the trade deadline? Because most of this, to get a guy that's going to help you, they got to weigh the pros and cons. Is it going to hurt you with the bag? Is it going to hurt you moving forward, right? So I think it's 3-year plan to 4 years. Like we're 1 year away. And are we further along than maybe we thought they were?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what makes these conversations. But at the end of the day, I don't think Brad Holmes is going to sit there and it's going to be fork in the road and I got to make this choice right now.
No.
I think this is building up to that. That's coming next year, to my opinion. And I see everybody saying, but the NFC, everybody's beatable and all this stuff. Yeah,
exactly. They are. They're all beatable.
Yes, with the team you have now. And if you can caveat a piece, that doesn't take away from how you're building it, what your mil-spec is, and it's through the draft.
They re-signed their guys. 11 different players have sacks, everybody. Again, I know your fantasy drafts say and your fantasy teams say otherwise, but this is the real world, everybody. Do you like what Brad Holmes has done since he's been here?
Yes.
Anybody disagree? Anybody say, well, he's kind of shitty in free agency? Nobody says that. Nobody says that. Do you like your chair right now? Do you like your spot as a Lions fan? Yes, the answer is yes.
Yeah. And do you like your spot with the guys controlling it? And it hasn't been, right? We're not sitting here going, everything's worked out and everything's played. We've been hit as hard with injuries as most teams to key positions. But, guys, we got professional football players being able to back up. Cody Sorsdahl first career start. You had Skipper in there. You got Glasgow moving to center for Frank Ragnow. You're all pro. Right? It's a committee. Then you go to the receivers. Then you go to the running backs, to the defense, to the fact you got 11 guys with different sacks. So you know what? Hutch is making everybody else around him better. Could he use more help? Is that what we're waiting to see when James Houston comes back? That's because that's what we're supposed to be on the other side. But don't poo-poo the fact that you got, what was healthy yesterday? Pascal, right? The guy, Aleem McNeil, friggin' Benito. That D-line was as effective as it ever was against anybody this year. So that they're getting better by committee and stuff like that. So you got to like your spot.
Ryan's reaction, people just want a big-name splash so badly, messing with their long-term vision. Algonac, Michigan says, LA Rams get Green 2024 first and second round. Detroit gets Kupp and Arnold. Not interested in that either.
Lions fans.
Not interested, man. There you see the pressure stats right there as well. So, guys, just are you happy? Are you happy with the growth of the franchise? Why has it come to this right now for the Lions? Because of Brad Holmes. I'm a ride with them. And you guys can be upset by that all you want. I don't care. Because guess what? The draft and the draft capital is how this whole thing has been built. Do you like it? Do you like the way it tastes? I certainly do. I like being the number 2 seed in the NFC. I like being 6-2. I like having the division unofficially clinched before Halloween. I like that. So I'm going to ride with the guy that's done that because I've never seen it in my life, and neither have you.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Spenny. I'm sorry, man, but I know, and I know you're in the splash campaign too.
I am. Bring Chase Young home.
Bring him
home.
Bring him home.
Bring him home.
Absolutely. So
where you're sitting? Hey, where you're sitting right now, round the room? Do they make a move today?
I hope so.
I do too.
I'm indifferent.
You're in.
They'll make a small. They're not doing any of this.
They're not making a big. I don't think they're making a big splash, but they could make something small that hopefully helps insulate. But I just don't think from Neil that it's not this year. It's next year, right? Because then you're a year closer to where your money's going. The conversations about who you're going to extend. Right? What contracts are coming up? I think that this is all in the conversation.
Spenny, I want to get your take on this one. Burns says, Lions fans are soft and always think the grass is greener. The Bears are doing the things that make them basement dwellers. What's your take on what the Bears are doing?
Are the Seahawks basement dwellers? Are the Eagles basement dwellers? Are the Niners basement dwellers? Like, they're doing those things too. Yeah, the Bears are doing it at a bad time because they're not in a spot to do that. I don't know why they just did that. Like, they're in a spot to be selling. The Lions aren't.
Right.
The Lions are in the talk with the Seahawks and the Eagles and the Niners who are doing those things to make their teams better to win. The Bears aren't in that spot.
But the Bears are in the spot where they have a whole bunch of money, right?
Lions have $60 million in cap space next year.
Next year. I'm saying this year. But you said that because we always talk about Chicago, it's not this year, it's next year with where their draft position, what their money is, and right? We've talked about this in the past. So they're trying to give Chicago credit. They're doing the only thing that they can do. They got to overpay. They got to be proactive. They did it in free agency with your boy Edmonds, right? They're going to overpay because why? Because they haven't hit their quarterback yet. They're trying to get there, Neil, but I bring back, remember, won't they have a lot? Like we were talking about this before. Don't fear Chicago this year. Fear them setting up for next year because of salary cap, availability, bag. So they can go out and make these moves because they're further along. If we were Chicago, we'd have to be doing this. But we don't because we built it differently.
And the Bears next year have $96 million in cap space.
So that's where you expect this trade, sign this. They're trying to go out and fix their issues with veteran guys that they have to pay and then surrounding them. You haven't done it that way. You've done it through the draft. Rookie contracts, young guys that are playing, guys that you get in here that you re-sign. Which way do you want it? How do you want it? Right? Two-pack that shit. Which one? You want to be? No. Because that used to be in the past.
Just for...
One last thing, Neil.
Yeah.
The way Holmes is doing it, you're built for friggin' success year after year after year. It's the same. I see the same thing as Stevie trying to build it to get back to that playoffs and always get back to that playoffs and be competitive. And how do you do that? By your own guys.
And we were talking about next year, by the way. The 49ers are $11 million over the cap for next year.
So small fact, right? That has to go into play with all. If Chicago's ever going to compete, they got to do moves like this. They see what the 49ers are up against. Everybody else is up against. So Brad Holmes says the same thing. That's why I think it's next year is more of the splash, just because of the game plan that you have and you're executing it to perfection. Right, Neil?
Absolutely.
Because it starts out crappy, 1-6, and then boom, boom, boom. It's your guys. It's your team.